But I was watching an interview with T.C. Carson. I want to say that's his name. The one that played
yeah, that's his name.
Kyle Barker on Living Single. And he was talking about how he ended up losing his job, how he ended up getting fired. And he was saying how during the runtime of the show, or during while they shooting the show, all of them collectively had their own problems. Like it was like, we not getting paid enough and y'all not treating us right and all this other stuff. But TC was the one that actually went to the producers, the directors, like all the big wigs and stuff, and was like, these are our concerns. Right. What y'all gonna do about it? And because he was so outspoken, they ended up writing him off on the show. Okay. And it was like towards like the later in the seasons where his character was going to Europe or London or whatever.
He got a job or something.
Yeah. And while he's like reading the script and whatever, preparing for it, he asked them, are y'all going to get rid of me? Because I kind of see this happening because y'all, because I'm doing this. They were like, no, we ain't going to break y'all up. You got a job here. Right. And then once that episode had aired, when he got on the plane, they called his lawyer and be like, yeah, we don't need him no more.
So it was the executives that did it. It wasn't none of the castmates.
None of the castmates. It ain't that they didn't like him or nothing. It was just the executives. Because they were saying he was just so outspoken. Right. And I guess no one else was speaking up. And that was the same thing that happened on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air with Vivian. The black one on Viv.
I thought that she didn't get along with Will Smith.
No, they got a well.
That's what I heard. I didn't know what really happened.
From my understanding, it was she had concerns, like the whole cast had concerns. She would go, and they're like, does anybody else feel that way? And no one else was backing her up, including Will Smith. Right. And so I guess that's where that came from, of them not getting along. Okay. But it was basically the same thing, how she would speak up, and they're like, we really don't need you. Right. Because you talking. Yeah, yeah. Like, you just can't go against the grain. And it has spoke to me a little bit, because I remember when I used to work, all the places I worked, something would happen. And I would speak up and, like, go off. Yeah. And then I had people telling me, why don't you just put your head down and just work? Yeah. Like, just do your job and just go home. And I'm sitting there, no, that ain't me. Right. I ain't never been like that.
Right. You're not supposed to.
Right. And that was one of the reasons why I had left QT. Okay. Because I remember listening to one of the hiring managers saying he wasn't going to hire this black dude because he had locks.
Right, because that's the policy, yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, he was saying they're dirty and all this other stuff, and I'm like, no, they're not. Like, that's I'd rather you just say, I don't want, because
I'd rather you say I don't like to look up.
Right.
Rather than call somebody dirty. Because people can have hair that looks what they would say regular and be dirty as, I don't know, right. What, you never wash your hair.
I done seen them other people, like white people, like I've seen them have like some of the dirtiest hair. Right. That's where lice comes from, for you not washing your hair. And so I'm like, how is it that locks is just put into that box of being dirty?
Well, we know where that came from, but from what I can understand, the locks don't look professional. Is what that's what the verbiage was in the policy, that they don't look professional, especially when they go out into the stores. But we're in the warehouse.
And then we got on hairnet, so it was like, what's the big deal? Right. And that was one of that, and plus I couldn't get promoted to save my life. Right. They wanted me to change, even though they liked how I was when I first started. And then when it came time for promotion time, maybe if you tone it down just a little bit. Right. No.
I am who I am.
Right. And then on top of the lock conversation, and I was just, I ain't got time for this. Yeah. Then I'll just leave, because I'm just ain't the type to pretend I don't see none. Right. I don't play Bird Box Challenge. That ain't what I do. And so I was just, like I completely understood what was going on with him.
And that's the sad part about it, especially like with the whole, T.C. Carson, and then what's her real name?
Viv, girl, don't give me the line.
Okay, Viv. It's like they write these people out the show with these crazy explanations, like he went to Europe for work, but it never was anything that led up to it. Like, I feel like if you're gonna write somebody out the show, write them out in a way where it actually makes sense.
Yeah, it was just all of a sudden.
All of a sudden, one day he working downtown, and the next day he he going to Europe and he not coming back. You know,
they did it like in like 2-3 episodes.
Yeah, and then
and on VMA they just
the
a
next
new
day,
season. It was
she was a whole different tone of skin tone.
They couldn't even get the same color woman.
We came in, we like, who is this?
Who's this yellow heifer?
I know. We had a whole new Aunt Vivian. So
and then I had stopped watching after that.
Yeah, the vibe was gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I still kind of, some episodes here and there I like with that one, but
I just like the earlier episodes.
Yeah. I ain't like the setup of the house on the earlier episodes. That's why
it seemed out of place. It seemed
the
weird.
way, yeah.
That's because they didn't have no money.
Oh, okay.
Like some shows, like Living Single. I remember Living Single when they did their pilot. They shot it in the Family Matters house.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the set,
they
like
just changed the furniture.
Yeah, like they weren't living in a like a brownstone. The way that it was set up, it looked like a individual regular house.
Oh, okay.
And then later on, that's when you see the hallway and then the thing that's going upstairs. Yeah. And that's because they had no money. And it's like, okay, let's give y'all, a bigger budget. Now y'all can fix it however y'all want to.
Just like how they did Martin, and that was his show. But how they just kind of just took Martin out of, or they didn't really take him out, but they had him and Gina in
doing separate scenes.
Yeah.
See, that was a build up from behind the stage.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, because they couldn't work together. She had a restraining order or something from what I hear. But it was kind of the dynamic of the show changed. So I just left the show after. I didn't keep watching it after that because it was weird.
Yeah,
because you want to see
those two together.
That's what the show is.
And then you spend so many years and episodes and seasons having them together, and then all of a sudden they
wasn't together no more, and it wasn't even funny no more after that.
No,
because Martin just didn't even look the same. His face, his demeanor.
Oh, yeah, that's that Hollywood stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't good no more after that.
Right.
What else? What other show they did that too that I was like,
That's a good chunk of the shows where it's like it ain't even the same.
The Cosby Show when they took Lisa Bonet off.
Yeah, but they had her doing her own.
Yeah, she went to a different world, but even in between, like when she left a different world and she went back to Cosby, you remember the Cosby Show, her and Bill Cosby weren't never really in the scene together.
Yeah.
They would have her done got married to some, it was just crazy. And then they brought in Raven Simone to kind of take that spot. So
I wonder if he tried to drug her too.
He said something about the image. He wanted to uphold this wholesome image, and she had got pregnant.
Oh yeah, she was with Kravitz.
Yeah, Lenny Kravitz, and so he.
I like them. They're really cute as a couple.
Their daughter is so beautiful.
I
Zoe
know.
Kravitz, she's very pretty.
Right. Bill Cosby full of crap.
He out here raping people.
Females.
And then he gonna talk about her getting married and getting pregnant at 17. But you out here doing what you doing allegedly. I don't want to say Bill Cosby did.
Well, he was found guilty, so we don't even have to say allegedly.
Well, in my head, I just feel like, okay, if he did. Okay, now I don't want to say my opinion because
I was thinking he did it, but the thing was, for me, it was like they knew. Like they knew what they were doing. They're like he's married, and then y'all going to like hotels or like rooms together.
Yeah, what y'all think y'all
like?
Gonna do
this is the '70s and '80s. We all bumping and grinding together.
And that's when the sexual revolution and all that stuff kind
of
was going
the liberation.
On. Yeah, so
now
what you thought he wanted with you? He was gonna read a book with you,
right? He gonna give you some pudding. Well, he gave you some pudding.
No, he took a little pudding.
That was my whole thing with the cops. Like, yeah, he did it, but. They knew what was going on.
They absolutely knew what was going on. Because if a married man invited me to his hotel room, I'm pretty sure I know what he wanted to do.
Right. It's like, no, we're going to Red Lobster.
Baby, we're going to the bar first.
Right.
Maybe later we'll go to the room. But I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to get drunk on my own accord. I don't need you dropping anything in my drink.
No.
But that's the part I think what was the problem.
Or it's like, all you got to do is just ask.
Right. Yeah, just be like, what's up? I'm pretty sure you Bill Cosby. I'm pretty sure they would have been down with it.
Right, I'm finna buy CBS money.
Right. Yes, I'm coming to your hotel room.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you how much I charge in a minute, though.
Right, we ain't gonna talk about this over the phone now. Tell you that.